Yeah, there's a spot for the finals round. They definitely have to fight their wits out because having similar skill set means they're probably gonna be sharing their protects and bans, and which is kind of funny with playing long notes against who also loves long notes.
Yeah, it's always interesting to see because we might actually just see like, you know, multiple rice maps being banned. No, that sounds weird as well. Surely not.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, there's not really any clear direction I see this match going in. Either way, LN1 has been very strong pick for both teams throughout the tournament. LN4, maybe I could see Indonesia protecting LN4. Malaysia should be protecting an LN as well, though. Okay, no, Malaysia protect LN1. Indonesia protect... hybrid? I'm not sure, actually.
It is up in the air, yeah. Also, yeah, speaking of which, we're also going to have a swap in commentary because I will no longer be commentating this one since apparently we got Surfchu commentating this block. So, how are you doing?
Yes.
Hello, hello.
Welcome,
We have a fun one.
Very fun one, in fact, here. Mifa has been fired now. So,
all right.
we're being replaced by Surfchu in this commentary booth.
Well, I mean, Mifa and I will be commentating something later tonight, as far as I know.
Yeah, fired temporarily, but you know, at least you can have your way for this particular matchup. So I'll be heading out a little for a few.
Okay. So this matchup, what do you think about it, Surfchu? Because we were just kind of shooting it out there a little bit, kind of thinking about how this will play out, and I, for one, have no idea what the protects and the bans are going to look like. But looks like we're actually going to see it right away. Wait, Malaysia protecting Rice 3.
Okay, discussion. This is weird.
I did not expect that. That's not what I expected.
I mean, you two were talking about the LNs being the focus in this matchup, but like seeing the protect, I feel like Malaysia is just trying to work with their accuracy for the most part. Like, remember, they did come into this World Cup without their star player, and I think them getting this far is already quite an achievement.
I mean, I guess I was thinking that Neo on Malaysia would fare better relatively on the harder maps of the pool, like the less accuracy focused, but at the same time, maybe it is their second player that also struggles on some of those.
Yeah, it's really dependent on their second player, though. As far as I know, it seems like Yonhong and Z1 were capable of catching up on the LNs, which I'm pretty sure Indonesia will be taking advantage of. For the most part, they do have Onta Bikasi, they do have their superstars pretty much.
Do Indonesia ban LN1?
That would be odd. That would be really odd.
Do they protect LN4 and then ban LN1? Because that, I mean,
that would be weird.
It makes sense though somehow. Malaysia are really good at LN1. And they're also kind of good at LN4, but Indonesia are also really good at both. So it's really hard to to expect what they're going to go for here. It's going to be Rice 5 actually. Hebe band is an interesting one. Maybe they're just not comfortable with the end section.
I mean, we've seen a lot of things happen on Hebe. That's pretty much the thing about this that mixed rice pick. Like the final quarter is just where all chaos would happen. Also, a dynamic that we might want to look into as Malaysia is banning Rice 1. I think that's a really good ban from them. But anyways, back to where I was. Indonesia has played the match this weekend. Malaysia, due to unfortunate circumstances, were not able to play against Chile because Chile had to forfeit their match. So Indonesia has no idea what Malaysia has.
But on the other side, Malaysia does have an idea. So Malaysia, interesting to actually ban Rice 1. I guess maybe they're just really not comfortable on that one because Rice 1 was one of the maps that Indonesia did not play. So Malaysia doesn't really have the information on that one in particular. There were some very strong performances overall from Indonesia on some of these maps, so I was thinking about maybe one of those being banned off instead from Malaysia. But it looks like a very LN-focused match might be the focus here for some of these teams.
Aside from Rice 4, this is a pretty straightforward Rice pool as well. So I think with this, the thing Malaysia has to monitor is the performance of their second player, because as you mentioned, Neo will be there.
I trust Neo to combo.
Yeah.
If I trust anyone to combo, it's that guy. So I am expecting Neo to perform fine. He will keep up with the other players, but yeah, just like you said, the second player is going to be the key point. And Malaysia picking Rice 6 right away. I think this is a very good pick actually, because this was the only point that Indonesia lost in their match yesterday against Russia.
A really good pick indeed. Trying to see, and I think with the fact that Indonesia also played this against Russia, Malaysia opening this one, I think they're confident they're able to beat Indonesia's team score from yesterday.
Yeah, that's the advantage that Malaysia has coming into this. They have directly looked, they have seen Indonesia play this map, and they have said, yeah, we can beat that team score.
Okay, so here comes Rafko and Asriel for Indonesia, and Malaysia will be having Neo and Z1 for this pick.
Yeah, the same two players that played this map yesterday for Indonesia, so that makes a lot of sense here. Malaysia, I expect Neo to be playing everything at this point in the tournament.
Yeah.
And the second player maybe switching out between like Ziyuan and Yonhong, perhaps.
Neo definitely has the experience of playing every single chart in a World Cup, thanks to their second place finish last year.
I mean, not even just last year. It feels like it's been almost 10 years in a row now with Neo playing every map for Malaysia.
So I think stamina won't be an issue for the most part.
He has the stamina. One of the most physically capable players in the whole tournament, for sure.
Early lead for Indonesia.
Yeah, a little bit early there. Ziyuan actually finds a miss, dropping down to 98.3. That's the huge accuracy drop. Ziyuan's hitting very, very late right now.
Yeah, it's a particularly rough start there from Z1. Asriel would have missed, but Z1 was just right there to cover. And the accuracy has already dropped to below 97%. This chart, while the patterns are pretty straightforward, like it's still 222 BPM. It's a particularly fast BPM for 7K standards.
And Z1 really struggling to keep up. It looks like the late inputs are still coming. And this now 60,000 point lead in favor of Indonesia. They are running away with it as Rafko and Neo both with the full combos, one apiece for either team.
Yeah, but as it stands, Malaysia would need a massive breakdown from Asriel. Might be even a few misses or so coming from Rafko, considering the accuracy advantage they have over Neo right now. And now we enter the final quarter of the chart, where the density picks up a little bit more compared to the rest of the chart. Z1 has recovered a bit to a 99.7, but the density has been affected for the most part.
Yeah, and I mean, this one is absolutely sealed. Indonesia going to earn a very early breakpoint in this match, as Asriel and Z1 does find a bit of a trade at the end there, but not going to matter. 130,000 points in the lead. And a very strong FC for both of those top players, Rafko and Neo.
Also, look at that 200 count coming from Rafko. Unfortunate 50, but still a full combo. Meanwhile for Neo, the combo is right there. The accuracy might just need some more fine-tuning, at least for the most part.
That's something that you come to expect with Neo. Full combos are there. You can always expect them. And generally, I mean, at this stage of the tournament, semifinals, being able to full combo is an extremely valuable thing to have. So definitely Neo doing his job there. But overall, the discomfort seen from Team Malaysia on that pick means that Indonesia gets an early point, and now Indonesia get their choice of map. And we do have all of the LNs and hybrids available, which is something that's very rarely seen in these tournaments.
Now, honestly, for Indonesia, like, the rice might be like, if they're gonna pick any rice pick, a rice stew might be something to look into. And there you go.
Okay. A very interesting order of, like, you know, how the picks and bans have worked out so far. We have 2 rice bans and then immediately 2 rice picks. But it makes sense for Indonesia after what they just saw on Rise 6, right? They very comfortable win for them. Malaysia struggling a little bit to keep up, so why not pick the other chord stream map of the pool right away?
Relatively slower chart, but the patterning here is a bit more, let's just say, dense. I think like lots more bracket usages in this one.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
And I think Malaysia has to be careful with their miscounts. Again, Neo will be right there. But I think the point of concern now for Malaysia is Z1. Maybe they just needed a bit more of a warm-up, I think, going into this match. Now we're seeing Onta Bikasi coming in for Asriel for the Indonesian side of your screen. Alright, we begin, Little Star.
Okay, let's see how they perform on this one here. Onta Bikasi, obviously a name that we're going to be expecting to see a lot as well in this match, coming in for one of the rice picks now. And a long rice pick at that, 3.5 minutes long. We're going to be looking to keep up the consistency and the accuracy throughout this one.
Rafko has been maintaining high mid 99.8. Well, he did drop a 200 right there, but still relatively high accuracy compared to their Malaysian counterparts. Onta Bikasi also ahead by 5 full tenths from Z1 as they find their first drop as the main chorus of the song begins. And more misses coming from Z1, dropping to below 99%, and that is not exactly a good sign for this pick. There's a decent amount of charting remaining. Like and this one is pretty dense. Like lots of places for you to drop. Z1 hasn't exactly been finding the big chords. Their consistency on the big chords in this chart. We saw Rafko dropping their combo as well, but not much on the accuracy.
Yeah, that was a super clean miss from Rafko. Both of the accuracies on Indonesia above 99.7. And that is a team accuracy that is hard to really come back from. Neo managing to kind of hold in there, 99.65, but the miss right as I say his name. That is going to be even bigger of a lead in favor of Indonesia.
Onta Bikasi toe-to-toe with Rafko right now. The only full combo remaining in this room. And they're just so consistent right now. Rafko finding another drop, but as it stands, it won't really do anything aside from helping them just maybe adjust a little bit more. Like it's not really going to be affecting the lead. Like it's this sizable now.
Yeah, almost 50,000 points, and on a long map, that's really hard to come back from. Each miss that comes out from Indonesia potentially was only going to dent this like a couple thousand points. It's going to require a massive amount of misses to ever come back from this one, and it's just not looking really that possible here or feasible at all. Indonesia looking strong on their first pick.
Yeah, and this has been a really, really good run here for Indonesia. On to Bikasi, a few patterns away from full comboing this chart. They just need to hold on and take this home. And a full team reset for Malaysia at the very end. That is unfortunate.
Super strong team score here for Indonesia. This is really, really impressive. A much better team performance than they had yesterday on the same map, in fact. Only 9 200s from onto Bikasi with the full combo.
Alright, so it's now Malaysia's turn to pick. And I'm pretty sure if they're gonna want to exhaust the rice pool, I think they might go for rice 3 immediately. But personally, I'd want them to go for the LNs now. Like, they gotta stop the bleeding.
Rise 3 was their protect, so I could see them going for that right now. It would be very, very weird to see the entire Rise pool being eliminated before any of the LNs or hybrids are picked or banned.
Actually, I did forget about Rise 3, but I don't think it's a pick they could go for right now.
I think Indonesia looking so sharp on the accuracy front as well. It's very dangerous to be picking something like that. So LN1 actually going to be the pick here. Something that Malaysia's been very strong on so far in the tournament. Neo in particular been absolutely eating up these inverse patterns.
Okay, so we've just seen word in the multiplayer chat that Yonhong is not going to be present for Malaysia. That is quite a blow for them this match.
Yeah, I mean, looking at kind of the logs here from the tournament server, it looks like there is only Neo and Ziyuan right here for Malaysia today. Indonesia having all 4 of their players online, it seems. So missing some of their players is Malaysia. I guess, you know, if there's any team that would be used to that, it would be Malaysia, running the 2-man team for quite a while.
Now, for Indonesia, on the other hand, seems like there's no substitutions. Though, honestly, this team, this duo that they have right now is a pretty strong LN team. Like, on to Bikasi, obviously, one of Indonesia's best LN players ever.
I mean, you say Indonesia's. I would argue one of the best LN players when it comes to kind of these mid-game MWC level LN charts. I have seen many an onto Bikasi map MVP in MWCs in the past.
Z1 with an early mishap really for this chart, dropping them to below 96% before they started recovering with these patterns that are a bit more movement based at least. But we see a drop here coming from Z1. Only 3 more full combos right now. Neo actually outperforming Rafko accuracy wise, and it's just right behind onto Bikasi right now.
Yeah, the 2 LN specialists here, you would say, in the lobby, onto Bikasi and Neo, both very, very strong when it comes to these kind of patterns. And they're showing it here. We're getting some streams now. Ziyuan not finding it comfortable, dropping down below 98% a little bit with those misses. But the other 3 players are somehow looking really comfortable on these patterns.
Rafko, interestingly enough, has the accuracy lead between the 3 full combos that we have right now. And there is still half of the chart remaining. I mixed up my throat towards onto Bikasi with 2 misses. Those are pretty uncharacteristic.
But doesn't really dent the score lead that much. Onto Bikasi's accuracy is still 99.4. That's very high. Enough to actually match Neo on the side of Malaysia.
But as it stands, Neo has the accuracy lead between the 2 full combos. And we only have these calmer patterns. Calmer, relatively speaking, but the reverse shields aren't are really hard to hit.
Yeah, it's the slow inverse that really gets you sometimes, right? The fast inverse sometimes
and
can.
Rapco's combo is gone.
Oh, that's the last FC for Indonesia, at least. Still one FC on the table for Malaysia.
Surely they'll be able to hold on to this.
I'm gonna just not look there. Very nice team performance here for Indonesia. Overall, 99.4% just about for their two players. Oh, never mind. No 99.4% for their two players. It is going to be 99.3 instead. But Neo with the very impressive clean full combo there. Going to be taking the map MVP.
Rafco, unfortunately had a Ellen break, which made them miss out on the full combo. Still impressive run for everyone here. Z1 scoring above a 98%, which is already one of the stronger scores that we're going to be seeing for this chart this weekend.
I mean, there's a big reason why LN1 has been banned quite a lot. It is because it is very hard.
It is.
It is hard to do. It's rare to see an LN1 pick being played so well by 3 of the players in the lobby. It kind of just goes to show these are 2 LN teams.
I had first-hand experience of like back when this was being played tested. I think this was like one of those charts that I never ended up finishing. Like I only did it section by section just because of how difficult it is to string a good consistent play on this chart.
Yeah, when it comes to like these kind of things, if you really can't do those motions, it feels like you're just flailing your fingers around randomly, right?
Yeah. Anyway, speaking of a chart that I would actually flail my arms randomly, we have We Are Electric. Indonesia picking Malaysia's Protect. Though honestly, this is a really good pick if they're gonna gun for accuracy.
Yeah, the Protect being picked up, very interesting. But yeah, it's a short one, and it's one that's very accuracy focused. And Indonesia so far, they've had the accuracy. This is kind of like the one map of the pool where you really can't just rely on combo alone to win you it out. This one, you have to match the ratio of the other team at the same time.
So now, honestly, with Malaysia picking this, I think there should at least be some semblance of confidence for them in this start.
Yeah.
Unless that Protect was a bluff.
I expect Neo to be able to match at least one of the players on Indonesia. It's up to how confident ZU1 is. And I mean, very possible. I mean, we've seen some very strong performances on these core jack picks. Maybe something that might be more comfortable for some players compared to some of the other ones, like the inverse, for example.
And here we go with the dense core jack patterns. Everyone doing pretty fine. The main difference really between these two teams has been Z1, but a drop from dropping them to below 99%. That was a full chord being missed.
Yeah, I mean, this would be the reason why Malaysia protected it as well. Even if Malaysia doesn't have that good accuracy in relation to Indonesia, single mistakes can swing this map so much. And we did see ZU1 finding a miss, but traded out by miss again from ZU1, but it's going to end up benefiting Malaysia in the end because drops all the way down to 98.6.
Again, this pick is contingent on how the second players are going to be limiting their drops, as we see again both of these two players trading, but we're seeing a few more bigger accuracy drops from but Z1 dropping to 98.3.
Oh, it's going back and forth now. Hold on. This is getting interesting now. Z1 and yeah, both with very similar accuracies. Ravko actually drops in accuracy a little bit, so now Neo is beating out that accuracy on the top of the screen, but Z1 finding one more break. That one is not being traded right now, and Z1 finds another one.
But there comes the misses coming from but the accuracy is still in Indonesia's favor. Ravko has recovered to around Neo's accuracy now.
Hang on a second, but
Wait a
it gets
minute.
traded at the end. 2,000 points, and it looks like Indonesia. Whoa, that was a chance. That was a very slight chance
Wait
there
a
for Malaysia. But
Ooh.
one miss at the very end, and Z1 just has one too many. Those scores from the top two players are exactly the same. What the hell? 9-9-1-2. 36 points apart.
Only the 450s from Ravko. It's so funny that like the 450s is almost an equivalent to 100, and the ratio barely mattered in this case. All because of the 50s, really.
Yeah, lots of very close one there for Indonesia. Probably not a map they wanted to pick in hindsight. That was definitely something that Malaysia could have very well taken a breakpoint back on. But now 4-0 up, they win it regardless. So they're in a good position in this match so far.
So now Neo is
Wait, wasn't this Indonesia's protect?
now they're okay. So let's coin a new term. Break protect.
Break
Break protect. Let's call it break protect.
I have to say, I don't think I've ever seen a match where both teams have picked the opposite team's protects. That has never happened as far as I am aware.
I mean, the possibility has always been there. The rules never said that if you protected it, you're the only team that could pick it. The only thing about protects is that they cannot be banned during the ban phase of the match. So if you protect the wrong chart, it's on you.
Yeah, well, it's not against the rules, but you gotta think like what situation would this ever happen?
Yeah.
It turns out the situation is now right here, where both teams are kind of experimenting with what picks work out, I guess.
Okay, I think the best way, like here's how we should define a break protect. So it has to be your opponent's protect. Then you pick it and you win a point on it.
Wait.
So yeah.
I just saw in the chat before it started, Ravko said, "Oh no, mind block."
Oh no.
But they protected
What?
it. He protected it though. What?
Okay.
Oh no, he's sad that the protect that his team protected was picked. Oh well.
Well, there's a drop from Alta Bikasi now. That is a weird drop.
The last player I would
Z1
expect to drop first is onto Bikasi, but Z1 finding multiple drops to trade it back. It looks like Indonesia. Oh, never mind. Hang on.
Hang on.
Traded back and forth here between the bottom two players, onto Bikasi and ZU1, but it looks like it ends up favoring Indonesia in the end.
I mean, anyways, back onto the mind block thing. Like Ravko with the mirror right now, I think this is one of those measures that they are taking to avoid triggering the mind block for the most part. Keeping up very well, like they have the better accuracy compared to Neo, who's still carrying a full combo as well for the Malaysian side. Now, Onto Bikasi has recovered now to a 99. This is coming from Z1, which has been a trend for the entire match. But there's another drop from Onto Bikasi. I think it might be Onto Bikasi who has some mind blocks here. Like, as it appears, because this is quite uncharacteristic from one of the best LM players in the entire roster.
Yeah, I mean, Ravko looks like the mirror mod there is working wonders for him right now. Managing to hold on to this, the accuracy matching Neo, so those top two players both cancelling each other out. That's been a trend for the entire match as well so far, but oh, hang on a second, that's a bit of a messy miss there for Ravko. Traded out by ZU1 though.
And Onto Bikasi as well, that's another drop from them that puts the lead below 75,000 points, and doesn't really matter now because the margin is pretty sizable and more consecutive misses coming from Z1, pushing this to almost 6-digit levels. And surely Neo will be full. No.
Oh, don't do this. You,
Oh, no.
oh, you had to open your mouth just before
had
the
to
map
stop.
finished.
I just had to
You had to
talk.
call it. You had to talk beforehand. Nah, Neo deserved that one. That's on Surf.
And that's match point for Indonesia with their pick as well.
Yeah, interesting scores here all around. There's a lot of variation in the 200 count and the miss counts all around the board here. Onto Picasso, despite all the misses, getting only 15 200s. I think that's less 200s than bad judgments overall.
Okay, so now for Indonesia, they could pick, I think, anything really for the most part. I would love to see either LN2, LN3 Hybrid 1 coming from Indonesia, like just to see how good their TV score is going to be on those picks. Phosphor might be something to look forward. Might also seal the deal, considering what we're seeing from at least looking at Indonesia. Looking from Indonesia's point of view, Hybrid 3 might also be a really strong pick for them, especially what they're seeing from their opponents. They're pretty much open, but no, they're going for Hybrid 2.
Hybrid 2, wacky one there.
Yeah,
One
the
that
wacky
has a bit of coordination focus as well, so kind of plays in a little bit to what we just saw in LN4, but also just, you know, extremely hard to combo when it comes to the shields.
Anyways, honestly, this is still a really good pick for Indonesia for the most part. Like the ones I stated were more of just like I want to see how high they could score on those because they have the roster for it.
Yeah, are they switching out Rafko for this one?
So that is Zaciel gonna come in? Oh no, it's yeah.
I don't think I've seen play a non-Rice pick so far this tournament. I guess in some ways you could call this a Jack map. if you were to stretch the definition quite a lot.
If you just squint enough, this is a Jack map.
Yeah. Oh no, Rafko is staying in. It's onto Picasso swapping out in the end.
So one strong Rice player, one strong Island player for Indonesia. Malaysia will be sticking out with this duo, and they're gonna hope to extend their campaign by one more map. Because if they lose this, it's all over for them for this World Cup.
Let's see if Indonesia can close it out here with the clean sweep, or if Malaysia can get one on the board and mount their comeback attempt. We'll see, because we're about to see some mini jacks here, some shields coming in, and these are notoriously difficult to try and navigate, even to hold combo on. So these accuracies are going to be tanking throughout this map.
Yeah, with the first drop, giving Malaysia some hope here, but Z1 was right there trading that one miss with two. But yeah, I think we have to pay attention to those misses coming from Ye and Z1, I think.
Yeah, Yen not looking that comfortable when it comes to some of these LN patterns for sure. And oh, that's a big accuracy drop from Ye. Actually, Malaysia taking the lead by a little bit here, but remaining close.
This is really just a matter of who limits their misses. Yeah, and Z1 trading again. Neo dropping their full combo. That's unfortunate. Rafko though, with a really good FC.
It's a big
Strong
issue there
accuracy.
for Malaysia. Strong accuracy for Ravko, much higher than Neo now with that miss. And ZU1 repeated misses once more. Ye's managed to kind of stabilize a little bit more. High 97s, while ZU1's dropping down to the low. So 22,000, and both of the players in Malaysia missing.
Yeah, that's a full team reset coming from Malaysia. Neo has also dropped below 99%. And the patterns here are going to be relatively lighter now. Not much of an opportunity really for any major drops now. Ravko conceding a few 200s, but that isn't really gonna matter as Indonesia will be sealing their 6-point, securing the sweep and advancing to the finals weekend. And I think that's for the first time since 2022. If anyone could fact check me.
I definitely cannot right now. I'll have to go and check that one later, but absolutely strong performance here. Ravko with the full combo once again, been an extremely impressive player throughout the entire tournament. Absolute consistency machine there. And Indonesia pulling off that sweep. Malaysia gonna be eliminated here in top 8, while Indonesia managed to break into that top 6. Very exciting matchups are being lined up right now for next week. We are going to be seeing Indonesia face the loser of China versus Philippines, which I think is going to be an absolute banger match.